Hi everyone and welcome back to Sensible SENCO. Believe it or not, I'm still on Maths Month May. Probably means my maths isn't very good seeing as we're in June. Hey ho. So this week I have got 4 books to have a flick through with you, and then next week will be the last one in the series, and we have got some online programmes to show you that are to do with maths. The 4 books I have for you this week, I have got Understanding Dyscalculia and Numeracy Difficulties, which is by Jane Emerson and Patricia Babtai. And this is quite a nifty little book with chapter headings such as the overview of numeracy learning and assessment, and then it's got what is numeracy, what causes numeracy difficulties, assessment and legislation, and identifying those. That's the first half of the book. And then the second half of the book, which is slightly larger, is about teaching. So it's planning and assessment for teaching, what to teach, and how parents can help. And then on page 163, it's got some suggestions around resources. I quite liked it. It's an interesting little book to flick through. It's easier to digest than a lot of them. It's not theoretically heavy. It's got plenty of core examples that you can use and things like suggesting multisensory teaching, but it says things like numbers to 10 and then gives you some ideas on how to teach numbers to 10 and the activities that you can do. All in all, a great little book, and it's not a great big chunky one like some of the ones that you see, but it's still got plenty in there. The second one that I have got lurking is this one, which is edited by Kate Ruttle, and it is the Dyscalculia Target Ladders. Now, I've been hankering over the target ladders for quite a while. I've wanted to buy them and have a look at them, and this gave me the excuse to actually buy and physically go through and have a play with some of the information in here. It does come with a CD at the back, and in the front part of this one it has got the same as you would expect. It basically defines what dyscalculia is, it talks about maths anxiety, it talks about dyscalculia friendly classrooms, and the link to other specific learning difficulties. Then it explains how to use the book. It has something called scope and sequence charts, which is how you decide where to go within the book, and then it has 8 aspects, and those aspects are the target ladders. So we have got a target ladder for foundation skills, one for the number system, one for addition and subtraction, etc., and it goes down. And the last one, aspect 8, is behaviours for learning. So effectively what you do is you work out where a child is within the system, and we've got some letters down this side here. So it starts with A and goes down to B on this page, and if I turn the page it carries on. So you work out where they sit within that. You have a look at what kind of target is appropriate. And then on this side here, it's got some suggested activities and strategies to support achieving that particular target. So as a SENCO, as somebody who is trying to write those smart targets on learning plans, this would actually be really, really useful in terms of then advising how we were going to meet that target. From a secondary perspective, I didn't find it incredibly helpful. That's, just me being absolutely honest, as I usually am. From a primary perspective, I could see, as a class teacher, having to set a target for a child who struggles with numeracy, being able to come in here, find the target, find the activity that would suit reaching that target, and being able to give that activity to a TA perhaps to work on for 2 or 3 weeks in order to achieve that target. I can see that working. So that is Kate Ruttle's Dyscalculia Target Ladders. Okay, the third book, it's not a book, it's a piece of paper, is called More Trouble with Maths, and it's by Steve Chin, and he has updated his publication on how to assess for dyscalculia and how to address those needs. I've talked to Steve about it, I've seen bits and pieces, I've actually flicked through a copy of it, but I don't have one that I can show you on the screen. I like it. My only issue again is it's an incredibly expensive book for what it is, and it's not something I would easily be able to go out and buy and put on my bookshelf as a SENCO. But if you were really looking for focusing on something for your maths department, More Trouble with Maths The Complete Diagnostic by Steve Chin. Definitely recommend that one. And then the fourth one that I have for you is mine. So I published Dyscalculia and Maths Difficulties just over a year ago. And it came hot on my heels of my Dysgraphia book. So they both came out at about the same time. And I'll be perfectly honest, what I did was take some information that says what is dyscalculia, what are maths difficulties, and just summarised it. It's that answer to the question you get asked all of the time. Some very quick ideas around what are the difficulties and some little tests that you can do, little assessments, explaining who it is that can actually give that official diagnosis of dyscalculia if that's what you want. And then I go through down here, so all the screeners and the tests that are available for you to actually assess that, whether you need a specialist qualification or whether you can just buy that one and actually use it as a screening tool. It goes through those for you. It then goes into all the different types of interventions that are available, so even ones you wouldn't necessarily consider an intervention, so something like Cumin Maths, which is not an intervention, it's a maths programme, but talking about it from an intervention perspective. Doodle Maths, which my son is loving at the moment, Nessie Numbers, 5-minute box, etc. Some strategies to use and things that we could actually put in place, so number lines. More information on books, resources, websites, and you can see me flicking through lots of pages there. And then at the back of mine, what I have, and it's the same as I did in the Dysgraphia book, I have a checklist for numeracy difficulties. So where is that child struggling? It won't identify anything for you. It will not come out with this child has dyscalculia or this child has whatever. What it will do is give you a profile of strengths and difficulties, and that's quite a long checklist for you. And it then also has a maths anxiety profile, because we know that a lot of maths difficulties are actually more down to anxiety than actually an issue in the first place. And then, turn my last page, I also have a quick maths assessment, and it's designed to be done one-to-one with a child, or you can possibly do it 1-to-4 in a small group if you're focusing on one child. And it uses cards and games to try and get some idea of where their strengths and difficulties lie. Like I say, it isn't an official diagnosis, it's not standardised, it isn't anything like that, but it's a quick way of getting some idea of where all those strengths and difficulties lie for a child who has maths difficulties. So there you go, 4 books about maths and maths difficulties for Maths Month May in June. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe so that you see when my next videos come out, and I'll see you soon. Take care guys, bye bye.